In this week's Veterans Voices of the Blue Ridge, we introduce you to retired Air Force Lieutenant Colonel Stephen Boyd. Now, he is currently sharing his knowledge of the military as chief instructor of the Patrick Henry High School Air Force Junior ROTC program. I recently spent some time with Lieutenant Colonel Boyd's class and shares the impact he's had on his students.
Well, my first year here was the fall of 2003. I finished up an Air Force career of 21 years. And one of the jobs I had in the Air Force, I got introduced to this junior ROTC program and I absolutely loved it. And I said, when I retire, this is what I want to do. And I came in here the fall of 2003, and it's really interesting because when I got here, I started talking to my students about coming here, and one of them literally said that I was crazy for coming here because I walked away from the Air Force. I had a six-figure job, and I came here, took a 50% pay cut. But I told them, I said, you know why I'm here? You. That's why I'm here.
They put a lot of responsibility on us. Our grades are solely on us, especially when it comes to uniform, and how our uniform is pretty much 90% of our grade. So he holds us to a higher standard to make sure that our hair is cut, or we ain't wearing any bracelets or anything like that. And it's just something that we need to take accountable in outside of high school.
Now for Lieutenant Colonel Stephen Boyd, of course, he served 21 years in the Air Force. And at the end of the following school year, he's going to wrap up his 21st season and retire. And he talks about his legacy that he's leaving behind once he retires from being the chief instructor of the Patrick Henry Air Force Junior ROTC.
You know, when I got here, this program wasn't as good as I wanted it to be. And one of the best moves I made was the end of my second year when I hired my partner, Sergeant Mills, because he was a young guy just like me, and we had the energy to do the things that were necessary to get the students excited about our program and take it to a different level, and that's where we are right now. We've been a distinguished unit for like the last 12 years. And when we got our first one 12 years ago, it had been like 20 or 30 years since we'd gotten any recognition. That's rewarding because the students do it, and I really feel good for them. So that's probably the best thing to get out of it, is just, I think I've left it better than I found it. And you know, and I know it'll be hard to leave, but I just think at some point it's time to move on and let somebody else come in here and pick up the baton and keep running with it.
Now, both Patrick Henry and William Fleming High Schools are always looking for students to be part of these programs. Now, interested students should check with each of those schools' programs. Now, Boyd says one thing he is proud of is instilling into his students is building up their self-confidence and to be successful in the classroom and in the future. Now, you can see stories like this and so many others highlighting veterans across our area. You can see that every Tuesday right here on WFXR News First at 10 and on WFXRTV.com.